What's up guys, the Red Cloak here, and today is chapter 309 of My Hero Academia, the Fans Translation. In this chapter, again, pretty good, but I do not think it was as good as last chapter, in my honest opinion. But if you are new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to push my video to the YouTube's algorithm. It really helps me a lot, and it makes me pump out more content for you guys. Now, let's begin with chapter 309. I Can't Stay Being a Child. Chapter kicks off with Deku flying off and actually taking Muscular. So yes, he actually beat Muscular in one punch. It's very impressive. And we see Yoshindo's classmates. We don't really know their names, so I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to attempt it. And we see Yoshindo's friend, which is the turtle girl. She just can't believe that she couldn't thank him because he just one-punched the villain that Shindo had a problem with. But Shindo was a main course in this plan. And for once, the civilians are actually just being nice. They're actually helping out Shindo. Shindo is somebody in need, and he really looks injured, and they don't want him to die. And Shindo is just thinking that guy cannot be the same dude from last time. He's mainly talking about Deku because from when he saw Deku in the provisional license exam, Deku wasn't this kind of different animal. Deku then goes off to a police center and drops off Muscular, and they say state your business here, and Deku just says you have a room for another escapee, and he puts down Muscular. And again, the police must be thinking, who is this guy? There is no way this guy took down Muscular. He must have been a pro hero or some kind of vigilante. Before the police can ask any further more questions, Deku just dips and heads out. And Deku just goes as fast as he can, using his smoke screen to actually just blind the policemen, so they don't really ask any questions, and Deku just tells All Might he'll be right there. So it does confirm that Deku is now with All Might. I think him and All Might are just living together and just vibing out, while Deku isn't really near Bakugo and the others. We see All Might in some sort of alley, and again, he's just wearing civilian clothes. He's just waiting for Deku, and Deku comes in, and All Might asks him, is there any injuries? And Deku says he's uninjured, and All Might asks him, what about your limbs? Deku says he's completely uninjured because of the new gauntlet he has called the Mid Gauntlet. I know it sounds kind of funny and kind of a joke, but this is the fan translation, so let's wait for the officials. It probably isn't called the Mid Gauntlet, it's probably something cool. All Might then confirms this is just a prototype, and this cannot nearly sustain himself when he's using the 100% power. So if Deku uses 100% power of, One for All, he will not be able to basically keep his arms intact or just be uninjured. He's definitely going to get injured. So I think the 45% gap is the only way he can use it on the gauntlets. All Might doesn't want Deku to injure himself until the final battle, which is again, of course, going to be against Shigaraki, or All for One in Shigaraki's body versus Deku. And it looks like this is probably the final arc of the series, but again, I could be wrong and we could continue waiting, and this could just be the beginning of My Hero Academia. Hawks calls up All Might, and All Might tells Hawks that, Deku's right next to him, and Deku has to dip again and says, see you later, All Might. And Hawks then says that whoever broke into Tartarus has a cheat code, which again, All for One using Shigaraki's body to communicate with himself and to break himself out of Tartarus. And Hawks wants to make sure that Midoriya and All Might are just even more safe if he just joins, Best Jeanist, Hawks, and Endeavor, since he would have multiple or one of the strongest heroes in the country backing Deku. Flashback to the hospital, Deku is awake, and Izuku's mom's here, Inko Midoriya, and yes, she's alive, she's not dead. And Deku was told by the previous doctor in the Forest Training Camp arc that if he used the power like this again and hurt himself, he would never be able to use his arms again. But it seems like One for All has strengthened his bones and strengthened his body to the point where he can break his bones. Well, this instance he broke his bones, but he should be alright. But he shouldn't continue doing it because, again, that's not safe or healthy. Inko Midoriya then tells All Might to tell her about Izuku's quirk. And All Might basically explains everything, the whole gist of it. And All Might then says the reason why people are after him is because people have their eyes set on this quirk. And she tells him what's next. And All Might is about to say, even if it's not Yue, or even if it is, we're prepared to protect him. But Deku then cuts in and says, I'll leave Yue. This really shows how much Deku has changed. Deku wants to be a hero, and it's his dream to be in Yue, but he doesn't want to see the people close to him get hurt like they did in the war arc. Deku says even right now, Shigaraki is tracking his location, and it wouldn't be surprising if Shigaraki just attacks this whole hospital right now. And Deku just says that he needs to get far away and stop Shigaraki before he can perfect his form. And I would like you guys to stay tuned because I might make a video on Shigaraki's terrifying potential, because like Nana says, if he ever reaches his true potential, the hero society as we know it, or the whole country or the world, is done for. Deku's mom obviously doesn't approve of this, and she says, no, you're not going in the current state you're in. And she was happy before when Deku was a kid, when he was quirkless, and she laughed at him, she played with him, and she was happy for him. But now Deku says he'll get stronger. He'll get even stronger. Deku's mom bursts into tears and hugs Midoriya, and Midoriya then tells her that I will become stronger. I will save more people than young Zuko, and don't worry, I will be back. And I hope he is back, because I want to see Deku in full throttle. All Might remembers the promise that he made to Inko Midoriya about protecting Deku with his life, and he's going to keep that promise. And even if Deku says no, even if Deku doesn't want him there at the moment, he's still coming. And he tells Midoriya that he's coming with him, and just shows how much All Might cares about Deku. And he really is the father figure for Deku. And again, we might get to see Deku's father in this arc. We probably might, but he's probably in America. Best Genius, the goat who lost nothing in this whole aftermath, basically then tells All Might that Deku is serving as bait so we can track down Shigaraki. Because Shigaraki is definitely going to be after Deku, because he can track him down with the quirk search. Thanks a lot, Ragdoll. That quirk is basically GG. It's just GG. And we see Deku going to Gran Torino's bed in the hospital, and he's just saying to himself, is that crying in the afterlife? At least I ain't dead to join you yet, Nana Shimura. But right now, he tells Deku that, remember, don't try to redeem Shigaraki, as it isn't the only way. Death can also serve as salvation, and tells him to never forget that, and gives him his scarf. And again, I think this kind of serves that, you know, he's dead. Gran Torino is dead. And for the many people who want him gone, and you know, I want him gone at one point, and I was saying, what's taking so long with Horikoshi killing this cockroach?
Shut the fuck up, my nigga. Shut up. Shut up.
But Gran Torino was a person of impact. I think this did impact Deku to a point where he needs to understand that even though he wants to redeem Shigaraki, even though he wants to save him first, death can also be salvation. Which, again, the best quote in the chapter, I can't cap. And we see the squad assemble. Deku, Hawks, Best Genius, All Might, and Endeavor saying, time to return the favor, League of Villains. And this chapter, pretty good. Like I said, pretty good. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I do like the themes of this chapter, and I do like some of the things that went on in this chapter. Overall, this chapter was very, very good, and I think My Academia might get chapter of the week again. But looking at the Jujutsu Kaisen and Black Clover chapters, it might be them. It might be them, but we can never know. I like them both equally, so it's all cool. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really did myself. It has been the Red Cloak. I'm headed out of here, and peace out. I'm out, guys. Peace. Have a great rest of the day.